Okay, Ritu is bringing us more details from Karnataka, which remember is seeing a number of raids take place across the state. Keep in mind, there are other states that are also seeing raids, but we are focusing on Karnataka as we speak. Ritu is my colleague from Karnataka, and I believe she has for us the details of the exact locations in Karnataka where these raids are taking place. She's also telling us that about 20 PFI leaders and members were taken into custody for interrogation. Remember, these are raids that have been going on since early morning, the wee hours of the morning. Let's go over to my colleague Ritu now for details. Ritu, before we go into more details, could you quickly just list out for us the regions where we know that these raids are taking place? And since you've been tracking the story, are these similar regions and similar areas to those that saw raids on Thursday?
So yes, true. As said, we saw how a pan-India search also took place where there were raids against the PFI leaders' houses and the offices too across the Karnataka. But massively we saw how protests actually erupted in both Bangalore and in the Mangalore too. But on the same very day, the state police also conducted a separate raid against the PFI leaders, and they as well, detained almost 19 leaders and later point arrested the 15 of them, and now they are all in police custody, and the interrogation is going on because you see the Karnataka has witnessed a lot of communal violence in the recent times, and there has been a complete disturbance in the peace and order as well, because the state government also gave out a strict word saying that they will ensure that such incidents, such untoward incidents won't take place in the future. So that's the kind of a word that the Chief Minister gave it to the people of Karnataka to right after the murder of Praveen Nataru in the Mangalore. So with all that in the backdrop, the state police has taken such issues very seriously. In the run-up to elections, these incidents might become common. So with all that, preventive steps are already being taken from the state government, because you see the Hindu, most of the organizations and the BJP Yuva Morcha workers too were up in arms against the state government, saying there's no security to these workers when they are working for their party development itself, and thus most of them also started tendering their resignation. So this all came in because of the communal violence that took place. But yes, we had seen, how PFI and SDPI kind of an organization are in a recent times are working in a more active manner, and thus have always been on stand to say that they are very clean in the manner that they are working, and thus nothing and would the police or an officials will find against them. But right now, as we're talking about it, there are multiple raids that are being conducted at multiple locations, whether it's in the Chitradurga. We know a PFI leader named Arfan Ali is also detained from Chitradurga district. In Vijaypura district, PFI district president Ashfaq Jamkhandi is also detained from there. In Chamarajnagar, two leaders of PFI are being detained, named Kafil Ahmed and District Secretary Shabullah Khan in the Chitradurga are all being detained. So these are the information that we are receiving, but yes, in some time it will also become more clear as into where all the raids are taking place and how many of them are getting detained at the multiple locations, and who are there and what is their backdrop and how were there in a link with any kind of a communal violence that took place, any riots that had taken place in the Karnataka.
Okay. Ritu, thank you for these details. That's my colleague Ritu, who's coming to us from Karnataka. But as we've told you already, these raids are taking place in multiple states across the country. This next update comes to you from Assam, where I believe my colleague Preeti is bringing us details. She's telling us that the Assam Police Special Branch raided in Assam a number of different areas. 8 people have been detained, including a leader from the Darang district. I'll have my colleague Preeti with us right now. Preeti, give us some understanding of the density, the scope of the raids that we've seen in Assam, and then quickly for our audiences, if you could compare the raids we're seeing right now to those we saw on Thursday in terms of numbers. What do these raids numbers tell us?
Yes, first I have to tell you about the last NIA raid that was made nationwide on PFI offices all over India. We could see that in Assam, the special branch also helped the NIA to do the raids, and later on we could see that 11 arrests were made of the PFI people in Assam, and this time, last night, we can see that raids were made by special branch where 8 people have been detained, and a leader from Darang district in South Kamrup, Khurshid Ali, Shahid Islam, Ruhun Amin, Sadagar Ali, Salim, Yashmita, Rafiqul Islam, Asik Iqbal, and Anish Ahmed, who is the president of Dorong district from 2015 to 2016. They have been detained. As of now, these people have been detained. And also, I have to tell you that the last arrests that were made that could see some really big leaders, and we also could see that the West Bengal PFI president was also arrested by Assam police. So there were definitely the density that you are talking about, basically the density of the raid that has been made. It has now, the last arrest were 11 people were arrested, and now we could see that 8 people have been detained. Definitely, maybe there are more to come. But yes, in the last night that the raid that happened, that has saw 8 people were detained by the special branch.
Okay, Preeti, just for our audiences, if you could give us an understanding, because obviously we're tuning in from across the country right now, give us an understanding of the hit that PFI leadership has possibly taken. How important, how integral were the leaders who've been arrested today and on Thursday, not arrested but detained for now, how integral were they for the state structural leadership of the PFI?
Yes, regarding the people who have been arrested, it must also be said that these are the big names that have come out, like the PFI, the leadership, the big leadership of PFI, they have been arrested. Earlier also we could see that, and even for this time, the 8 people that has been detained, they are also the prime members of PFI. They are the president of Dorong district, and we have seen that Assam, particularly in the recent incidents, a lot of PFI engagements were made that was suspected that in a lot of incidents, a lot of violent incidents like Gorukuti, like the Batadrawa incident, a lot of PFI involvement was doubted. And now that we can see that a lot of PFI we can say the prime members, because last time also we could see the state president being arrested, and then the West Bengal president of PFI was arrested by Assam police. And even this time, these are the Asik Iqbal and Anish Ahmed. Anish Ahmed is the president of Dorong district from 2015 to 2016. So you see, these are the prime leadership of PFI. They are the most important people. And so how actually the last time when these people were arrested, that is why, because these are the important people of PFI, like the leadership of PFI, so Assam saw a lot of protests as well across the state. But yes, we have to say that definitely these people who have been arrested, detained as of now, in the last night's raid, and also the last raids that happened, are the very important people of PFI in Assam. And also it has seen some connections of PFI leaderships around the country who are somehow related to the PFI activities happening in Assam. We can take the example of the recent arrest of the West Bengal PFI president being arrested by Assam police.
Okay, all right, Preeti, thank you so much for these details. For our audiences, it's time right now for a short break. On the other side, this is our top story, so we'll continue to bring you more details. We'll see you in a few minutes.